This is my saber. There are many others like it, but this one is mine. Let's talk sabers, straight swords, and more right now. Yep, Kung Fu Chronicles back again. And a quick reminder to subscribe and hit the bell below so you'll always be up to date on the latest postings.
Shall we begin?
This time we're following up with even more weapons talk. Hey, if you missed the part 1 on this series where I went through the 18 Chinese traditional ones with a spotlight on the staff and the 3 sectional staff, and some of their lovely fighting applications, I'll leave that link in the description below. So, as promised, this time the focus is on sabers, i.e. the Do or broadsword, and their shiny partners in crime, the Gim or straight sword. Also throwing out a quick shout out to my Ying Jiao Pai brothers down in PR, that's Puerto Rico. For sending me this lovely mask so that I can stay safe up here and hope everyone else is doing the same in this crazy ass time, right? Gracias, compadres. Okay, so this time, I'll make the case for both the saber and straight sword, with a bit of historic breakdown, as well as their pros and cons and uses in the everyday world. Now the Do, better known as the broadsword or saber, is categorized in the Chinese martial arts world as a short weapon. The usual length is usually from hilt in hand to the tip of the blade being at the shoulder height or even the brow. It's a one-sided blade, most commonly used for slashing or chopping. Versus stabbing or piercing. Originally, the Gim was the go-to sword for the Chinese military, but the Do became popular with the cavalry during the Han Dynasty. The swords themselves were usually made of steel or iron and used more because of their sturdiness as a chopping weapon and relative ease of use. It was generally said or thought that it took about a week to get good or acceptable at a Do. A month for the spear, and a year to attain the same level of competence with a straight sword or Gim. The broadswords were issued to infantry and began to replace the Gim as standard issue, and the rest was history. The guards are usually cupped to prevent rain and or blood from dripping down to the handle, making it really hard to grip. As mentioned, the single-handed Do almost completely replaced the Gim on the battlefield, while the straight sword later became known as the weapon of self-defense for the scholarly or aristocratic class. Most Kung Fu schools these days train extensively in the broadsword, seeing it as a powerful conditioning tool and very versatile weapon. Now, self-defense techniques vary, but easily translate to like-sized modern weapons like sticks, clubs, bats, you name it. Now, the Gim was known in Chinese folklore as the gentleman of weapons, with a history that far outdates even the broadsword. The general use for the straight sword is a multi-purpose cut and thrust weapon, used for both stabbing and precision cuts, versus just a hack and slash weapon like the broadsword. As with the Do, many Kung Fu schools still train extensively with the Gim and strive in the expertise in its techniques. and it's said and believed by many to be one of the highest expressions of a practitioner's kung fu. Often referred to as the Tai Chi sword, reflecting their current use as a training weapon for Tai Chi Chuan practitioners. They were originally made from bronze and later steel.
Woo! This is a good fucking sword!
Some practical applications may even be used with stick or piercing and cutting actions that we may see in some knife work. So, final verdict? Well, both weapons have their pros and cons, and I personally enjoy training with both of them. The broadsword for power and expedience, and just the violence of it.
Oh, let me see that. I love it.
The Jian, for its beauty and precision. Although I personally lean more towards the applications in the broadsword. Why? Because in modern day, those applications are just more practical and easily transferred for use with other readily available weapons. And at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to, right? How to transfer these classical weapon skills into ones that we can use for more modern weapons.
I'm so glad we had this chance to dialogue.
But what about you? What are some of your favorites? Learn something new in this one, or have a preference for either kind of sword?
Maybe.
Let me know in the comments below and check back as we do more in this weapon series down the road. And also leave suggestions in the comments of specific weapons you'd like me to highlight and maybe speak on later. See you in the next round and keep punching.